Hi, this is Herman Chen, and I would like to present the accident that I have chosen. This accident happened on the Hudson River. It's called the Miracle on the Hudson, and is about the U.S. Air 5049. First, I would like to give some description of the accident. This accident happened on January 15 on 2009 and was experienced by the U.S. Airways flight 1549. Basically, these airways experienced a complete loss of thrust in both engines after encountering a flock of birds 2 minutes after takeoff from LaGuardia Airport, and the flight was en route to North Carolina. The 150 passengers and 5 crew members evacuated the airplane, and only 5 injuries were reported with no fatalities. Now I would like to show some pictures where you can see some evidence of the accident. And these pictures with all the plane to the water. This is pictures from different point of view, different angle. Also here you can see other angle of the accident, and this is from the other side of the airplane. This is from the front of the airplane. This is the wings of the airplanes, and this picture is when the airplane is trying to get out. These are my favorite pictures because these pictures are from the engines, and in this picture you can see the blades of the turbine that are damaged. Maybe the next picture is complete. Yes, this is the picture where you can see how the blades of the turbine are damaged because something impacted them. This is my favorite evidence because you can see that is a wing of some bird, and you can see that there is a laying that is from the U.S. Air 1549. I think this was found into the engine, but I like how they preserve the evidence. Also, like we have learned on the class, I found these diagrams where you can understand what happened during the accident. You can see a red line and a green light. These pictures, yes, with this picture you can see better. The red line is the birds on the area, and the green lines is the route of the airplane. So you can see how the birds impact on the airplane. This is a different angle, and you can see, maybe we can imagine that this is what the pilot saw during the accident, and for that reason he decided to try to go to the Hudson River and avoid some accidents. After seeing the evidence and after understanding the diagrams, we can get a chain of events. In this case, this is a resume, and you can see that the bird struck, the aircraft lost both engines, and the aircraft was unable to maintain the altitude. Then the captain decided to ditch in the Hudson River, and that's trying to clear of populated areas, and the final result are 0 fatalities on the ground. This is the chain of events, and with these events, many questions came to my mind, and one of that question is, what was the conditions, the mechanical or physical condition of the aircraft, and I found a lot of information when you can see the flight hours accumulated, and when was the last major maintenance conducted. And after reading information, I have concluded that the maintenance was done properly on the aircraft. Also, I found the maintenance program, and everything was done according to the time limits manual. For example, they have daily, overnight, weekly, and fixed interval inspections. All the engine maintenance inspections, including components, servicing, periodic, and heavy inspections were done. So I had concluded that the maintenance program was completing according to the manual. The next question is, maybe the investigation team wonder, are the pilot good trained to pilot this airplane? Well, the information provided showed that the pilot was very qualified was the pilot Chesley Sullenberg and his first officer Jeffrey Scales, and both have accumulated a lot of flight hours, and they have a lot of experience. Also, they have airline transport pilot certificate. The captain held a first-class Federal Aviation Administration Airman Medical Certificate with no limitation. With all this information, we can conclude that the pilot was very qualified to fly the airplane. With all this information, of course, a root cause analysis is necessary. So I found this root cause analysis that was done by the company reliability.com, I think. And you can see how they prepare the root cause analysis. In this part, we can see all the information of the flight, the date, and all the details of the accident. And after that, they prepare a diagram where they consider a lot of information and try to put all the information to get why 0 fatalities were found on the ground. They analyze the accident from different points of view. This is the most complete diagram where they consider when the birds strike the airplane, also consider the skills of the captain, and all the information that we have talked before. They consider all the information and put the information into this diagram. Here you can see more information, and it's a very complete diagram with considering all information. After the root cause analysis, we have some conclusions. For example, the examination of the recovered components revealed no evidence of any pre-existing engine system or structural failures. The second conclusion is that both engines were operating normally until they ingested at least 2 large birds. And also, the next conclusion is that the flight and the cabin crew members were appropriately certificated and qualified under federal regulations. After half the conclusions, we can have new recommendations, and this helps us to avoid the same accidents in the future. For example, the new recommendations are require manufacturers of turbine power aircraft to develop a checklist and procedures for dual engine failure occurring at a low altitude. The next recommendation is work with the aviation industry to determine whether recommended practices and procedures need to be developed for pilots regarding forced landings without power boat on water land. At the end, the analysis of the accidents is try to get information that we can use to avoid more accidents like this. I really like this analysis because I can see how the investigation teams from the National Transportation Safety Board get all the information and how they prepare the evidence and how they conclude, and of course the recommendations to try to avoid more accidents like this. This is my presentation, and I hope we have learned something about this case. Thank you.